Hi, I'm Dr. Lewinsohn. I am a senior medical officer with UK Specialist Ambulance Service, and I'm also a senior registrar in anaesthetics and intensive care. I'm currently working in the Royal Free Hospital, but in my spare time most of what I do is emergency response work on behalf of UK Specialist Ambulance Service, and I also do a lot of clinical training for paramedics and technicians as well. I'm also an advanced life support instructor working for the Resuscitation Council UK, and recently became I'm becoming an instructor as well for the American Heart Association. Most of my involvement with Hatzola is with regards to teaching and training. We're starting a new training program for Hatzola, which UK Special Ambulance Services are leading and training on, and I'm one of the main two trainers that will be training most of the Hatzola guys with their training and helping to advance their skills and training from there. Okay, so let's go have a look at some of the kit and equipment that I carry myself personally in the back of the car. This is the equipment that is given by UK Special Ambulance Service, and most of our vehicles will be equipped in this type of way. And as you can see, it's a fairly comprehensive set of equipment that we carry on the back of our vehicles. When I'm here doing training for the Hatzola guys, if there's a serious call, I'll go out to support them with all the equipment that you can see available, basically to help out on calls and to help encourage the guys for the important work that they do and all the important training things that they do. But obviously, my kit is not what we're interested in. Why don't we go on to the back of one of the Hatzola ambulances and have a look at what these guys carry, and I can give you a better idea about how important the equipment is for the work that they do. Let's come have a look at one of these ambulances. So welcome to the back of one of the Hatzola ambulances. As you can see, this is one of the larger ambulances that we use in current practice. It's exactly the same as what the NHS ambulances would look like as well. An ambulance like this would cost in the region of several £100,000, and as you can see, it's nicely equipped and perfectly spacious for clinicians to work on the back with the patients themselves. There's a number of seats that are added in as well to allow relatives to be coming on board the ambulances, and as you can see, there's again another seat at the front which will allow a clinician at any time to be sitting at the head of the patient, especially with critically ill patients, to keep a close eye on the patients. There's plenty of compartments allowing lots of drugs and medications to be stored on the back of the ambulance, and plenty of emergency equipment available at all times, as well as straps to allow for if members need to be standing dealing with the patient while the ambulance is being transported, and various other attachments as well to allow drips and IV giving sets to be given for a patient as well at the same time. As you can see, Hatzola spared no expenses when it comes to patient safety. This is a LifePack 15 defibrillator monitor made by Physio-Control, and it's one of the top of the range monitors that really is in use. All of London Ambulance Service are also using LifePack 15 monitors, and that's well in keeping with what they'll do. This allows for tracings to be checked for the patient's heart. It allows for close monitoring of the patient's functions, and of course, in the worst case scenario, if needed be, it would allow defibrillation of the patients if they were requiring that in that situation. There's lots of other equipment on the back as well, which does set Hatzola out a little bit above and beyond what other ambulance services would do. This is a nice example over here. So this is an example of one of the Ultrapulse piece of equipment that we were talking about before, and as you can see, it's equipment that's designed to aid in resuscitation of a patient who might unfortunately be in this circumstances. It's a very nice piece of kit. It's been very well designed for the use of patients, and is based on a number of research and many years worth of expertise to develop this piece of equipment. Before these types of pieces of equipment were available, when patients were unfortunately in a situation needing resuscitation, people would have to do the manual method, which would be something like this, applying chest compressions in a manual way that we all are used to seeing, we all understand quite well. Unfortunately, as research has shown, over time, people will start to tire, their effectiveness of CPR becomes less and less effective, and I'm sure, as you can appreciate, on the back of a moving ambulance, it becomes very difficult to apply this type of effective CPR while the vehicle's in motion. So as a result of that, pieces of equipment like this Ultrapulse were designed. As you can see, it's got two very soft paddle, what we call the life bands essentially, which are placed around the patient. The patient is placed on the backboard, which is designed to be as comfortable as possible, and then once in position, the life band will adjust to the patient, and it adjusts itself around the patient. And then once the sensors are in place, it will start to apply the type approach that you see. The advantage of systems like these is that they're fully automated, they work very well, and as you can see it applies 360-degree compressions to a patient's chest, as opposed to just the compressions that we would apply manually, as I was showing you before. It works very well, and the research trials have been shown to be as effective, and I'll just stop it there. So you can see it works very well, and the research trials have been shown to be as effective, not more so effective, than the application of manual CPR. But the advantages, obviously, is that the machine doesn't tire. It will continue to work at the same effective rate, and regardless of the movement of the ambulance, it still keeps its effectiveness, making it much more useful for patients in the most dire of circumstances. These types of pieces of equipment will not be on every NHS vehicle for London Ambulance Service, because unfortunately the simple fact of just costs. But all of Hatzola's vehicles do carry one of these on the back of all of the ambulances. As you can see, unfortunately, as you appreciate, the cost is not just of buying equipment like these, it's also the ongoing running costs. Batteries will cost quite a lot of money, the charging units for those batteries, all the disposable parts of any piece of equipment like this. So for example, the life band is a disposable element that can be taken off of each patient use and disposed of if required, because they can get quite dirty. All the other elements you might see, the oxygen as well is also a consumable, all other pieces of equipment are usually single patient use, and all of these together can add up to thousands of pounds of costs over the running course of the year. It's been a pleasure taking you on one of the tours of the Hatzola ambulances and showing you some of the equipment on board. I'm going to myself be present at the Hatzola fundraising dinner, and I very much hope that you will, because at the end of the day, everything that I've shown you here today, all these pieces of equipment, no matter how amazing they are, they're just toys in the game of what we're doing. The most important people really at the end of the day are the people that operate all these pieces of equipment, that get out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that will come to your door when you need them. And these people need your support now. So it'd be great to see you all at the Hatzola dinner. I'll be there myself. I look forward to meeting you there, and I look forward to you coming up and saying hello, and we can chat a bit more about this then.